Life can't always be about keeping that nutrition perfect. Life is all about having its hills and valleys and ups and downs. So when trying to keep your nutrition on point and clean, things arise that can make it quite difficult to do. Let's say you have a special event, a wedding, a party, or maybe you're just a social person and you like to go out and eat and you like to enjoy yourself. So here's 5 steps to keeping it clean when ordering at a restaurant. Here from Elevate Fitness and Martial Arts, and getting on the topic of keeping it clean when ordering out or being in a restaurant. If you can, do your best to make sure that you are using your research options, like looking around, researching different areas, different restaurants that you feel are going to fit more hand in hand with the nutritional pathway that you're trying to follow. This can't always be the case. Like, let's say you're going to a wedding, you don't know what they're going to have, you just know chicken or beef or fish. So, making healthy choices in the beginning is always going to be to your best benefit. But like I said, if you don't know, that's where we're getting into these next options. Step 1, protein source. So what you're going to want to do is look up the menu or look at your menu and decide what are your protein sources. Is there fish available? Is there chicken available? If you are vegetarian or vegan, what protein sources do you have? Do they have any kind of lentils, any kind of beans, any kind of quinoa, brown rice, something that you can use as a source of protein or main meal focus. Step number 2, check out your carb section. What do you have available for carbs? Is it steamed vegetables? Is it a side of fruit? Is it a side of rice? A side of potato mash? Whatever your carb is, make sure that you're already checking that out. So now you have your protein, and then you're gonna have your carbohydrate sources. So start checking out the menu and see what they have. A lot of the times, places will have sides, and that's what you wanna kind of look through. It's best to just avoid the refined carbohydrates and that added sugar. We really want to avoid the types of foods that are going to spike our insulin levels up. So we are looking more towards like the wild rice if they have, the brown rice if they have, or just sticking to those vegetables and leafy greens. Step number 3, fats. Fats is a little bit difficult because almost everything is full of extra fat when you go out to eat. And that's just because fat really gives that awesome flavor to the majority of the things that we're eating. So measuring fat is a little bit difficult. So what I would suggest is that you just don't add any extra fat. You just want to play it safe and know that there's going to be plenty of fats on whatever it is that you're eating. Now, if you have special dietary needs, then maybe you ask that they don't add in that extra fat. Or if you're on a type of like a ketogenic diet, then you probably want to ask for extra fats or bring your own source. I know I've been known to carry peanut butter in my purse, those little Justin packets, or some kind of nuts. However, I know it sounds crazy, but hey, if you're trying to live that lifestyle of keeping it clean and being healthy, there's just going to be different changes you're going to have to add into your everyday life. You can ask them to give you a side of avocado if you like, or even ask if they have any kind of nuts of some sort, if you don't plan ahead and you don't have that extra fat source. But once again, fats are a little bit difficult to measure out. If you are having an extra side of fat, just remember thumb size is about a tablespoon. Step number 4, when ordering drinks, just keep it simple. Order some water. A lot of the times we have these sugary drinks, so we order diet sodas, all that stuff, which I like to call a chemical shitstorm. But it's best that you just order water. It's good to just keep your body hydrated. If maybe you're in a social environment and everybody else is drinking and you're tired of people, why are you drinking? Why are you drinking? Well, hey, just get some sparkling water, throw some lime in it and some ice cubes, and probably no one's gonna say anything to you. But it's important to know that when you're consuming large amounts of alcohol, it's going to increase your insulin resistant levels. So just staying away from it is really gonna help with that stubborn belly fat. It's gonna make you feel better, you're gonna be less, you're gonna stay hydrated and be less. I know when you're in a social atmosphere, it's hard to say no to the wine and the cocktails and all that stuff. But there's a couple factors that you can do if you are going to partake in the alcohol festivities. Keeping it clean as far as clear liquids, and really making sure that you're limiting the amount that you're consuming, and then always following it up with a glass of water of some sort afterwards. Step number 5, dessert. First thing you should try to do is order some fruit. Fruit on the side is always great. There's also ask for nuts and cheese. I know that, you know, it's such a common thing to have some type of sweet for dessert, but sometimes our body just wants that little extra something. So see if, you know, having a little bit of cheese and dessert, maybe some coffee, will help to satisfy that craving. Same thing with the fruit. If not, and you absolutely must have dessert, maybe somebody share it with you, have a little bit less than what you normally would have, because remember all that sugar that's involved. And we know that sugar is the culprit when it comes to increased body fat. We don't want to spike our insulin levels, and we want to keep it to a dull roar when it comes to sugar. Thank you for watching your 5 steps to keeping it healthy at a restaurant.